Hey guys, my name's Nikki Monney and this is my new channel, Noshing with Nikki. My whole goal with this channel is to show you guys that you can kind of essentially travel by experiencing different cultures within your own backyard by trying the foods. Just LA alone has different foods from essentially every culture in the world. And there are lots of states within the US that have that as well. And I want to show you that maybe you don't know what Chinese food really is. Maybe you don't know what Guatemalan food really is. Maybe you have ideas, but there's so much more that you could learn. And I would like to show you that with this channel. So come along with me and I hope you enjoy. Make sure you guys watch all the way to the end for some delicious halal style food and even a pungent durian dessert. Also, make sure to check the description for the names and addresses of these locations. Now, let's get some delicious food. All right, guys. First location for the first ever video of Noshing with Nikki. Now this is a place we actually scouted beforehand. Just coming back from China, I was really missing the pomerleau that we got from Xi'an. Now pomerleau is a type of lamb soup that has pita broken up into it. Now you would think the pita would get soggy, but it doesn't. It actually gets soft but still retains its kind of spongy, chewy texture, and it's really good. It's great for if you have a cold, it's filling, and the broth is just very rich. So this location that we're at is actually called Xian Tasty. They've got a very large menu, so they've got 2 menus. Now, we didn't order anything off this one, so I'm gonna put this one aside, but this is the menu that we were really interested in. So we ordered a lot for you guys, which definitely means leftovers for us. I kind of want to showcase the different dishes that we had in Xi'an, which was the last city we went to in China. And I want to make sure that you guys see that Chinese food isn't just Mongolian beef and chow fan and chow mein. It also has a halal style food, which I fell in love with when we were in China. So we're getting the Chinese hamburger, we're getting the cold noodle with sesame, which is called Blvd. We're getting the pomerleau, which is my favorite. It's the mutton soup with pita. We're gonna get the biang noodles, which I never actually had the chance to try while we were in China. And one of my favorites, we are getting the barbecue mutton skewers. Now that's gonna be cuminy, have a little bit of chili on it. It's gonna be really delicious. So I'm very excited for you guys to see this food. All right, so all the foods made it to the table. Yes, it is a lot of food. I'm not gonna eat this all in one sitting. We're gonna have to take some leftovers. But the food came out very quickly. This is actually a cold dish, the Blvd right here. It's noodles with sesame and some chili oil, and we've got some cucumber in there. And I think here they put some bean sprouts and then some little gluten chunks, which we didn't have that when we were in Xi'an, but still, you know, looks good. Now this is the mutton skewers. I'm really excited for this. This is one of my favorite dishes. It's covered in cumin and chili, and the moment she put it down on the table, my sinuses were just filled with that aroma of cumin, which I'm very excited about. This right here is the biang mian, which is a thicker noodle, I believe hand pulled, and it looks like we've got some pork in there, we've got some greens, lots of chili, so we'll mix that up. And I'm very excited because we didn't get to try this in China, but I'm hoping we'll still get to experience something new and enjoy it. This right here is what is called the Chinese hamburger. That's gonna be fatty, greasy. The pita is gonna be nice and crispy on the outside so that I can feel that it is. I'm very excited about that. It's pork, so the flavor is gonna be very rich. And then right here is my favorite, the pomerleau, which is that mutton soup I was telling you about with the pita and the glass noodles. All of this looks great. All of this is just gonna be amazing, and I can't wait to try it and share it with you all. All right, so first up, I'm gonna go ahead and try this Chinese hamburger. So I can already tell it is pretty greasy. You can see there's a lot of grease on that plate. So we'll see how that affects it. The pita feels nice and crispy, which is a good sign. And you can see that the pork is fatty, and you want that fatty pork in there. So let's go ahead and give it a try. So the pita is it's nice, and oh my gosh, you can see, look at that oil dripping. off of the pita. So the pita is nice and crispy and firm and chewy, but still soft at the same time. The meat is definitely fatty. The pork is very, very juicy, very fatty, melts in your mouth. It is rich, I would say just a little bit too much oil, but other than that, it's very tasty. Very similar to the ones we had in Xi'an. It's just fatty meat and a really good pita. So I'm gonna take one more bite. So really the star of this dish is this pita. It's not what you would typically expect from like supermarket pita. It's got more of a chewy, thick texture, and I just love it. The flavor in it is incredible, and really it is the star of this dish. All right, next up, I'm gonna bring my favorite dish, the pomerleau, the mutton pita soup. Let's go with the whole pita theme right now. Now, this soup here, the broth has already been kind of soaked up a little bit by the pita, but that's an okay thing. Every bite of pita is going to just burst with broth. It's got those glass noodles, and you've got nice chunks of mutton in there. So let's serve some up. Ooh. Okay, so all this broth has been soaked into the pita at this point. So you might want to eat this one first, just so you can taste that broth first. Now I have tasted it before, and it's very rich, delicious, thick mutton broth. But the pita does soak it up very quickly. So let's give it a try. So as I said, the texture of the pita, it's still very soft, but still retains kind of its chewy, spongy texture. It doesn't get totally soggy from soaking up all that broth. So it's very delicious. And it's just a very soothing thing to eat, kind of like having chicken soup at home when you're sick. So you can see too, I have a nice chunk of wood ear mushroom in there, which actually goes really well with this soup. It is quite delicious. And then typically they give you some pickled garlic to eat after you take a bite of this. So you take a bite of soup and a bite of pickled garlic, and that goes really well too. They didn't put it on the table this time, but I'm sure we could ask for it. Really, this soup is very warming, very hearty, and just very soothing all around. You might want to ask for a little extra broth if you've had it sitting there for a little bit, just because, as I said, the pita does soak up the broth very quickly. But I do love a good pomerleau, and this is almost identical to the one that we had in Xi'an. So. All right, guys, next up is the liang pi. It's also known as cold noodle with sesame paste. And as I said, it's got sesame paste, chili oil, we've got the cucumber, and this one has some bean sprouts, and last time we were here it had some gluten cubes, so we'll see if those are in here again. Yep, there they are. There's a gluten cube. So that's different than what we had in Xi'an, but we had them from little stalls, so maybe there are restaurants that might have the gluten cubes. Either way, this dish is very yummy. There is more sauce in this one than they do in China, but you know, you're coating all of the noodles. Now this dish is actually really inexpensive. It's less than $5, and this is a big bowl of noodles. So you could really come in here and just get this for lunch, and that would be good enough for you. Let's get a little bit of everything in this bite. That is so good. The noodles are perfectly chewy. The bean sprout give you that nice crunch, and so do the cucumbers, but the cucumbers really give you that freshness that you want when you're eating something heavy like noodles. You can taste the little kick from the chili oil, and the sesame just coats the noodles as well. I really do love this liang pi. It does very much remind me of the ones that we had in Xi'an, and this is just so good. It might actually be my favorite dish from this restaurant. So take one more bite. That's a good cold noodle. All right, so next up, I'm gonna take a little break from the noodles and we're actually gonna go for the skewers. Now before I get to that, I'd like to add that they actually brought out the garlic for the pomo. Now this is Nell's, our lovely cameraman's favorite. When we had it in China, they actually didn't have it in a chili sauce. It was just by itself, but it's still good. And this is, again, pickled garlic goes with the pomo. But now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to try these skewers, which were one of my favorites. So right away, you can see there are some pieces of fat, looks nice and juicy. And as I said, it's just covered in cumin and chili. So I'm very excited to try this. Yeah, this is good. The lamb is cooked very well. I'm definitely getting that kick from the chili, which I love. And the cumin, really, that flavor just fills your mouth. It's amazing. Cumin is one of my favorites, so I love this dish. If you don't like cumin, you probably won't like it. But I personally think it's great. There's just so much flavor from the spices. The chili, the cumin, and the flavor from the lamb itself. They're just so good together. They marry each other perfectly. This was one of my favorite snacks to have. And look at that, slides right off the skewer. And that's the thing about this. Each piece comes off very easily. You're not gonna have to pull out the whole chunk together, and you could just bite and slide right off. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this one. So good. Last but not least, this might be new for you. It's definitely new for me. This is the biang mian. So it's a thicker noodle. We've got some chili in there. We've got some greens, and this is pork. We actually asked them whether we should do it with or without meat, and she said that pork was pretty traditional. We didn't get the chance to have this when we were in China, and this is one of the main dishes I wanted to try, so I'm very excited. So I'm just gonna mix this up, try and get some of that chili all over the noodles, get whatever sauces might be from the pork in there, mix it all up. Okay, so let's go ahead and try this out. I'm just gonna get a little bit of the pork and a little bit of the greens. Let's just go in there for a bite. It's not my favorite. I think it's okay. I think the noodles are a little overcooked, but the flavor is really great. It's really good with the greens. I love the chili. You get the chili in there. The pork is nice and tender. Really, that chili flavor is the best part of it. I can see how this dish would be amazing. I just think the noodles maybe need a little less time when they're cooking. But all in all, the flavor is great. Not my favorite dish, but I might give it a try again sometime. Well, I'm stuffed from all of this delicious food from here at Xian Tasty. It really was like going back to China, and I hope that you guys enjoyed it too. I did, however, leave a little bit of room for some dessert. So we're gonna take you to a dessert shop with Hong Kong style desserts that we loved while we were on our trip. So why don't you come on over with me? All right, guys, so we made it to dessert. This place is called Sweetheart Dessert House in Rosemead, and I'm really excited because, again, it's got a lot of Hong Kong style desserts that we really enjoyed while we were over there. They've got the mango pomerleau sago that I really love. They've got durian crepe, and they actually also have some savory dishes too, like some chong fen and surf shrimp, surf clam. All right, so they've actually got a pretty big menu. You've got, this menu has both savory and sweet and teas. So this first, oh, and very important, cash only. And this first page, we got the chong fen and we got the spicy surf clam. So I'm excited about that. You can also see they have the Hong Kong style egg waffles and a bunch of different options. And then right here, we've got the big dessert menu, and it's got all the pictures. So we are ordering the mango pomerleau sago sweet soup, which was my favorite dessert. And then we also are getting the durian crepe. Again, lots of different options, tons of pictures, so I'm very excited about this place. A lot of things that I crave, so can't wait. All right, so our savory food's gotten here. This is the chongfen, and it looks like it's just covered in sesame paste, hoisin, and sesame seeds. So it's not like traditional chongfen, it's just, they're just the rice rolls, and you've got the sauce.
This is a durian. Is that the durian?
Yeah. All right, so it's just the rice roll, and it's got the sauce in there that you eat it with. So then you take these little skewers, and let's grab one of these, and that aroma of the sesame paste is so strong. Like, really, that's all I can smell right now. So it comes out nice and hot. That's great. The rice rolls are so soft. It really just tastes like sesame and rice roll. So it's a little sweet from the sesame. It's actually really good. I don't think I could eat all of this by myself, but it's nice. It's a very, for being heavy in sesame, it's light because it's just the rice roll itself. Let's go ahead and try this surf clam, and I'm going to use my little skewer for the surf clam. And I am a huge fan of surf clam, so I'm really excited about this. It looks like it's just the clam, some sesame seeds, and spicy sauce. So it's good. It's not the craziest thing on the menu, but nice and chewy. The flavor is fishy in a good way. You know, you really get the clam flavor, and that sauce is nice and light, so it doesn't overpower the clam at all. Okay, so here are our desserts. I'm really excited about this. This is why we came here, and it is a dessert shop, so obviously have to get dessert. This right here is a durian crepe. So inside there's gonna be some cream, there's gonna be the fruit itself, and it smells like durian too, which I know some people think it smells weird. I personally think it smells amazing. And then right here, this is actually their special. It is the mango pomerleau sago, but they put it in an ice bowl. So this actually looks really cool. You can see some cracks in there, but it's like the texture and all that just looks really awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and try the durian. Okay, so right there is all that cream, and there is the fruit itself. Oh, see, I love that smell. I actually just think it smells really clean and fragrant and delicious. So you can see, oh my gosh, all this cream coming out when you cut into it. And you can see the soft bits of the fruit. Oh, that is really good. Very creamy, and it really just, it tastes like fresh durian. It's really nice, strong flavor, very much durian flavor. So if you don't like durian, you're not gonna like this. It's a good thing I do. The cream is, it just fills your mouth. You bite, and it's just soft and smooth all over your mouth. And if you've never tried durian before, you might like it because of the creaminess of it. It's kind of like almost a pudding, but in a crepe. And the crepe itself is really soft. I love the texture of it. Adds a little bit of chew where it's otherwise just cream. So I like this a lot, it's great. Now this is what I came here for. Mango pomerleau sago, my favorite dessert. So you can see it's got these little balls in there, you've got the mango, and you can see the pink bits of pomerleau in there as well. Okay, let's go in. Oh my gosh, that's so good. The mango is perfectly ripe, enough chew and still soft. The soup itself is just so refreshing. And it's cold from being in this cold ice bowl. And I love these little, I don't know if they're tapioca, but these little balls in here just give it a little more chewiness. But all in all, the flavor is just incredible. Creamy, sweet, delicious, refreshing, and not heavy at all. That's my favorite thing about this, is it's not heavy. I could eat this every day. So my favorite thing by far. You know what? I'm gonna take another bite. You don't want any of this, right? Because I'm just gonna eat the whole thing.
Is there something for me?
All right, guys, thanks for watching the first ever video of Noshing with Nikki. We hope you enjoyed everything we showed you. Definitely get this mango pomerleau sago. It's incredible. All of this was probably around just over $20 together, so it's really good price, really great food. I love the smell of durian, so I really enjoyed that. Like, subscribe, comment, and be sure to watch next week for episode 2.